Well, don't give us the history of your interest in
The inner city blacks.
Oh, hello and welcome once again to the Josh Potter Show. Thank you again to our buddy here, Richie Doing Dishes. Wasn't Nuttin', the name of this song, Nuttin, Nuttin'. Of course, the great John Otto on here. And another Tuesday is upon us, friends. I want to let you know that I have some gig changes. We're going to get into mine in a little bit. I want to introduce my guest here. He's the best. Saw him at Skankfest. And you were always working hard over there at Skankfest. It's Jeremiah Watkins, everybody. Round of applause.
Oh, hey. What's up, guys?
I always expect a studio audience to clap at
Just
that
that
moment.
with the applause sign.
But please, plug anything that you'd like, that you have coming up. We discussed some things that I'm excited for you to have happen.
Yeah, I'm my special for this last year, Jeremiah Watkins Family Reunion, was on Amazon Prime. I'm releasing it on my YouTube channel next week. If you didn't get around to checking it out on Prime, or if you don't have Prime, it'll be for free, available on my YouTube next week after this episode airs. And then come see me on the road. I'm in Houston in January.
Again?
I'm going back, man.
Oh,
I had such a good time. I'm
Lord.
headed back to Houston.
And where are you playing at this occasion?
It's called The Riot. It's at it's above Rudyard's Pub. And it was that gig that I was trying to get you to come to. I was like, hey, I got some spots on these shows, and Josh is like, I'm just having a good time. I don't know if I'm making it off the site right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm leaving the grounds.
I'm a bit on a journey at the moment in my own brain. No, I talked about how I did an immense amount of acid the week that we recapped Skankfest, and I was just walking around. I remember seeing you. I'm walking around like holding a beer. You're walking around. You have a man who looks like he films raptors for a living. Like that guy was like in the bush. He was like, he had 900 cameras with him. And Jeremiah's like doing, like, he's like, I got a podcast and I got a set. And then I'm doing goddamn comedy jam. It's like, I was like standing there with a beer going like, man, I got nothing going on. Nuttin, nothing. No, but it was like freeing to have nothing going on, and I felt stressed out watching.
I envied you a little bit, to be honest. I was like, I packed a lot in on this trip. But
yeah, and then I was talking to Soder, and he was like, I got to go over here and do this, and I got to go over here, and I was like, man, I'm so glad that I'm just came to have fun. Like, I really, how often do you get to do that?
I mean, it's pretty rare, to be honest.
Yeah, it really is. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the next week I went out with Annie on the road to Plano. And it was back to work again. We had 6 shows, and it was no fun. No, I'm just kidding. We had a great time. But it is like, then you start going
were laughing at me.
Yeah.
And they were like, we love you, Josh. And I was like, this is not my element.
I had to do a set. I had to do a lot of sets. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, yeah, I have to do this for my job.
Right.
But where else are you going to be? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, all good. I will be in Batavia, Illinois. I will be in San Francisco coming up, and then Indianapolis as well in January. So that's all on my website, jeremiahwatkins.com. Got a couple podcasts, Jeremiah Wonders, which Josh Potter has been on, and you're going to come back on soon.
Ooh, I would love that. I was just on it, wasn't I, for Skankfest, technically.
It was a little taste. It was like a 5-6 minute little pod that we did mix together, and then my other podcast, Scissor Bros. So check out all that stuff.
I love the Scissor Bros, dude. So much fun. That's like podcast innovation happening over there. So go check that out for sure. I'll let you know where I'm going to be. I just found out, by the way, January 6th, I will no longer be in San Diego at the American Comedy Company. That I found out just by looking at their website, turns out. Tim Dillon moved some shows, evidently, and I get it. His shows are going to take precedent, I'm sure. So I assume I'll be getting a new gig, a new date for that gig at some point. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But did notice that myself, so keep that in mind. Also, some things that are solid, that are definitely happening. I'm making a return to the Milwaukee Improv on the 23rd of January. Getting started here in 2022. I will be at the West Nyack Levity Live in West Nyack, New York on the 30th of January, Pittsburgh Improv February 2nd, and the Raleigh Improv February 3rd. And as we're halfway here through the Nice Boy Clock. Oh, by the way, go to Josh_Potter on Instagram. Do all that. And please subscribe to the show if you haven't already. I'm getting told remind people of that. Smart. JoshPotterShow@gmail.com, all those things. But yes, we're halfway through the Nice Boy Clock, and I think this will be the easiest, breeziest Nice Boy Clock ever because we have Jeremiah here. And Jeremiah, there are some nice boys in comedy, people who do clean stuff, who they get off stage and they are dastardly devils. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they say some gnarly things.
What are we talking about,
do
Josh?
Some gnarly things.
Josh, what are you implying?
Jeremiah does not do those things. He's actually the same. You don't curse at all. You can't even curse in a private conversation.
If I'm doing a character, I really go for it.
You can curse then, yes. That's different.
It's a weird. That is acting. I didn't cheat on my wife. That was a character.
That's something. That'd be. I feel like actors do that. I just had this
probably. I mean, yeah.
When you talk to you are like a comedian who can act. You know what I'm saying? Or would you describe yourself as an actor? I don't know.
Sure. I mean, I'm primarily a comedian for sure. I have a background acting, but I consider myself a comedian.
It's so weird. I consider myself a broadcaster first and a comedian maybe second.
Well, I mean, you've been broadcasting a long time and you've been doing it professionally. Longer?
Longer.
Okay, longer.
Much longer. But I've been more successful as a comedian than a broadcaster.
Right. Well, the slash is going to move the other direction in that Chiron.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I just find it interesting. I think actors can play that card though when they're like, have you ever dated an actress? Like, they have you're going which one will I get today? You don't know quite. You're digging through the weeds. You're trying to figure out who's the real one in here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which personality am I really dating?
Yeah. Which one's you? Because you can't really tell. And in terms of comedians, I feel like you get through the muck and mire much quicker in terms of finding out who they are.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of personalities, so lucky for my wife, she gets to sleep with 10 different people. You know what I mean?
Do you bring out the Joker?
Just doing the laugh and stuff.
Yeah, you just come up with some pithy line about anarchy or something like that. Yeah. But your Joker is like a cartoon. So does the Joker say gnarly shit like he does in Batman? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, as much for a kid show that
yeah, I'm gonna make explosions.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's fun though. That's cute. It is adorable. It's what is the show called? Tell me one more time.
It's called DC Superhero Girls.
And you play the Joker, which is wild.
I play the Joker. Yeah,
that's pretty cool though. And I didn't even make it out of the Nice Boy Clock without cursing. Sorry, Kirsten. I blew it again.
It's all right. I forgive you.
She has to put sensors in now and everything like that.
You gotta bleep it, you gotta blop it, you gotta boom pow it, just like comic
YouTube,
books.
There's such dorks over at YouTube. But you don't curse, and I'm not saying you're a dork. Explain to people.
Have you guys been having issues with cursing on videos?
I have just made it because initially when I came out of the gate, I had many an issue. I almost got the titan of a YouTube channel known as Your Mom's House ripped down a few times. Because I was coming out saying all kinds of wild things. It's maybe don't do the case about the in the first 2 minutes. How about that?
Oh, yeah, you gotta pat it. Yeah, you gotta get out of that first 90 seconds without being just completely going.
I kind of would come out, and then bad thing. So I was like, all right, we're gonna put the Nice Boy Clock on. 10 minutes of niceness. So far, I've already blew it, and I thought it would be the easiest one because you're here, and you're gonna have a Nice Boy hour for Halloween.
I bring out the evil in you.
But it was funny. We were outside the Comedy Store, and we were just literally just talking, it wasn't on stage or anything, and you didn't curse. And Annie pointed out, she's like, you don't curse? I'm like, no, he doesn't curse.
She hates
She gets so mad.
She hates it.
I've never seen her so angry.
She's like, grow up. You need to grow up. What are you talking about? I'm like, I have this weird thing. I didn't do it as a kid, and it stuck.
I mean, I didn't do it in radio, so I feel like I can. I mean, I already failed, so what do I know? But I feel like I can get through it if I'm on a broadcast, or even if I was on stage. In conversation, however,
you just let it fly.
I can't possibly not curse. I don't know why. It's just coming out of me. I'm lucky I don't say anything worse than I say, I feel like half the time. I feel like I'm censoring myself from some 90s words, and I feel like, that's obviously for the betterment of society and myself. But there are some words.
It's so funny how you say 90s words and literally everybody knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I don't mean it in a hateful way.
The best era of nostalgia ever? Sorry, I'm restrained a little bit. I can't use 90s words anymore.
It's tough for me at times. I want to call things a certain word, and it's not because I want to call it that. It doesn't have the same impact when I skirt around it. I'm like, you know what I mean more when I say the 90s
I
words.
want to live like a character in American Pie too. That's just how I want to live, dude.
It's true though. I mean, it's just I'm Stifler but ugly. So I mean, I always said if I was good looking, I would be the most giantest fuckboy that ever existed in the world.
Yeah.
I had to like become funny and have a personality.
I got nervous. My voice cracked. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had to wait past the 10-minute mark there.
Right.
The nice boy clock went off, and I'm like, I can say fuck now.
Oh, let's freaking go, dude.
So much better. I did bring you on here for a very special holiday episode. I know we're past the holiday technically, but once you get past Thanksgiving,
We're in the thick of the season.
Thick of the season.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now, one of the biggest holidays in my home growing up was in fact Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Do you have any experience with Black Friday coming from the Midwest?
It was a big deal sometimes. I would go to Best Buy or something.
You would go.
I would go.
And what would you get? And like, what was your ordeal? Like, what part? Like,
I remember like seeing ads on Black Friday, like because I used to every Sunday. My dad and I would go get like a Sunday paper, and we'd read like the funnies. He'd read the articles.
Oh my God, that is the most wholesome thing I've ever heard in my life.
And then sometimes before church on Sunday mornings, we'd have cheese toast and cinnamon toast.
What's cheese toast?
Okay, this is gonna blow your mind.
Okay, is it just cheese on bread?
He got it. But you toast it, and it's phenomenal.
Man, I mean, Domino's, it's like the cheesy bread.
It kind of is.
So you'd have cheese toast and then cinnamon toast I've had. That's where you sprinkle the cinnamon on it. That's more of like a dessert toast.
Yep. Sugar and cinnamon is really good.
This is the most wholesome shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
I can't wait to tell you about mine. Go ahead. Continue, please.
You ever had ashtray Pop-Tarts before?
Where would you go get the Sunday paper? At the corner?
Yeah, or the local grocery store.
Okay.
And yeah, sometimes it'd be like a quarter thing where you'd put a couple in, and then they'd go, and then you'd have to quickly grab one.
Grab it quick.
And trust too that you didn't take a stack, because some people would just
people would empty those.
They would empty those.
In Dumb and Dumber, he leaves his wallet inside.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love that scene.
Dude, fuck.
But we would see in those ads and stuff like that, and on Black Friday we would go to we had like a Comp USA and like Office Depot and Best Buy all around. I always loved tech stuff and keeping up with that. And I remember getting like an MP3 player that had a color LCD screen that was like this big, and it was like, at the time it was like
you could fit $40. Songs.
You could fit. It was 128 megabytes, I think, at the time.
How many songs do you remember?
It's it comes down to about 40 songs or something.
That's hilarious that there was a limit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
iPods were hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I remember my dad got me one that was the biggest one they've ever made. And I was like, dude, to fill this up would be insane. And they actually stopped making it. It was the 500 megabytes or whatever the hell. It looked like a giant brick. I was like, I could back up my laptop on here.
Yep. Yeah.
And it would still won't even dent it. And I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I used it for a hard drive for years. And now my nephew plays with it like a fake cell phone and like throws it around. I'm like, that's my backup hard drive.
I still have a T-Mobile Sidekick somewhere.
That's hilarious. Yeah, finding old cell phones. But that's what you would buy primarily on your Black Friday. So how long would you sleep outside of a Best Buy to get...
It wouldn't be crazy long. I mean, honestly, the most like Black Friday kind of experience was I used to go, and this was not even on Thanksgiving, but it was around that holiday season sometimes, was Beanie Baby shopping with my mom. And we would stand in line for freaking hours for those things.
Yep, my mom was a Beanie Baby hunter, I like to call it, because she would know the truck was coming to Amanese on a certain day. It's like, get out there, and we would be in the lines, we'd be in the trenches. My mom was a shopping soldier, almost. Loved the war of it.
Did you collect the McDonald's Beanie Babies
yes.
too? We would hop to different McDonald's, and we'd go, and we'd be like, Do you have the,
Yep.
you know?
An afternoon of it. My mom was, and it was scary. It was traumatizing.
That was like sports for moms for a while.
It was my mom's entire existence, like going around, like she'd get the cases for folks, I told Jeremiah this earlier, because my mom is such a Black Friday person too. Like my mom is the one, her and my sister, the night before on Thanksgiving, like I was going to say the night before Thanksgiving, the night of Thanksgiving, we're at Thanksgiving. They're not like social amongst the family. They have all the papers just splayed about, and they're just circling things. And they're like, first we're going over here, then we're going over here. Then they get me Christmas presents on Black Friday that I don't even want. They're like, do you want any video games? I'm like, no. They're like, they're $5. I'm like, I guess.
You have to choose something, Josh. Just choose something.
They're on the phone. You could hear the commotion behind them. They're like, is it NBA 2K or NHL? Which one? I'm like, I don't care. But I said to Jeremiah, we'll call my mom. I haven't talked to my mom on the phone this could be like so awkward. She might not even pick up the phone. But I wanted to get her strategy and see if she'll.
When was the last time you talked to your mom on the phone?
I don't know, months ago.
Okay.
But I mean, we text and stuff, and it's very,
right.
Whatever. I mean, I don't have a bad relationship with my mom. Let's see if I can even call.
I'm not accusing you, man. Jeremiah, lay off of me, man. You need to stop interrogating me about me and my mom's relationship.
I'm going to see if I can get it through the speaker here. She might not even pick up the phone, like I said. She could be. If she's working, we will call her at work. By the way. Let's see if this works, if I can talk through here. Will we hear it when it picks up, Kirsten, you think?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Hi, Mom. Hold on, I'm going to put you on speakerphone. Because I can't hear you. Hold on. Oh, my God. I need a new phone. Let's try this again.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. I am here with my friend Jeremiah, and he is very curious about Black Friday shopping and all of your strategies. Are you going this year?
I am not going this year.
What?
I know. Well, because it's all changed since COVID, so it's kind of...
it's not as fun?
Well, no, I mean, plus I don't know if Jenna's all about going into the stores, and a lot of the stuff, like the stores are all doing online. So some of this, like they're already starting Black Friday specials now.
Well, back in the heyday, when you would go out, tell Jeremiah what time you'd wake up in the morning.
So the stores would open at like 6, so we'd get up depends on what store and what we were looking for. For you guys, if it was like kids stuff, which would go fast, we sometimes would get up at 4, and then you go stand in line because you don't want to be the last one to get in the store. And then you wait in line, and then you go about your shopping.
Did you ever have any violent experiences or arguments when we were kids? I don't remember any.
No. I mean, you would see some, some people would, but I never ran into any pushing, shoving, or, people being rude or anything like that. I mean, some people you would see in another line, people arguing, or it depends, if it was a kid's hot item and there was only 10 on the shelf, then there was people fighting for that stuff.
What's a kid hot item? What did I need back then that was huge?
I'm trying to think. Most of the stuff I was able to get for you was kind of, even with Jenna, some of the dolls, Cabbage Patch dolls, or Ninja Turtles, that kind of stuff, the pizza thrower. It was more the vehicles.
What?
That were hard
the
to
vehicles.
But yeah, the pizza thrower the turtle bus.
Yes. Remember all of those. Now, how did you, because you and Jenna go through the ads the night before.
Right. Well, Thanksgiving morning, we go through, because I'll go get the paper Thanksgiving morning, and then we go over to Laura's to eat, but we'd look at the ads while we're there.
Exactly. Yeah, they'd spend Thanksgiving looking at the ads, and you would have a strategy of where to go, a map.
Yes, absolutely. So we'd have what stores, which where like JCPenney has always had like the clothes for you guys, so we'd always like map out JCPenney's. And
JCP.
back in the day, everything.
How
it
much
started
shopping
at-
would you get done for the year on Black Friday in terms of like clothes and toys and stuff? Was it just one punch all year long?
Yeah.
And Jeremiah also brought up the Beanie Babies. How did you find out when the stores would have the trucks come?
So just through talking to people like Hallmark, the Hallmark stores.
Mhm.
You know, talking to the people that work there, and they would say, "Oh yeah, our shipments always come in on, you know, a Friday, or they come in on a Monday, or whatever." So then you kind of would scope it out and be there on a Monday, or you'd be there on a Friday.
How'd those sell back, by the way? Did we win money?
No,
No.
there are so many of them out there. I mean, they put that out there all the time. That says, like the Princess Diana one.
Right.
It's just baloney when who's ever putting it out there that they're getting like zillions of dollars for it, because it's not.
And we have one of those. How much do you want to sell it for?
Have what?
A Princess Diana one. How much do you want to sell it for?
Oh, I don't have any of them anymore. I got rid of all of them.
You didn't even try to sell them?
No, there was people that had them. Like when I went on the websites to sell it, you know, to think about selling them. If you go on there, there's a ton of them on there.
Well, what was the point of getting them then? I mean, did you just do it for the hunt?
Well, plus you guys played with them.
I guess that's but not the ones you put in a box.
Well, we used to just put them in the box because you collected like the teddy bears. I think Jenna was the one that collected the teddy bears or something like that. Just
And the tag protectors.
yeah.
I didn't do
On
much
a few
point.
of them. Well, I mean, because at first you thought it was going to be collectible, but I mean, look at the precious moments. How many precious moments do I have in those boxes?
I was just about to ask you, Mrs. Potter, about the precious moments. If you had precious moments, because that was something that my family had as well.
She had a curio cabinet
so
full of them.
I still have the precious moments sitting here, just because they're cute. Like I don't know what to do with them. But the same thing, if you go on, you have to just find. I mean, everything's for sale. You just have to find the buyer, and the Beanie Babies and the precious moments. They're just not. I mean, if you look, like we have a group that's called our neighborhood sales or whatever, and they're giving them away, or they got them for like $10, or 5 of them for $10, and yeah.
So it's all about the hunt, though. But thank you for
Pretty much
talking
it
to
was,
us about
yeah.
it. I appreciate it. I'll see you when I come home in a couple days.
I have a question.
Oh, one more
for
question.
you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have any when holidays come to mind? Do you have any funny memories of Josh that jump out at you when I mention like Christmas or Thanksgiving with him as a kid or anything like that?
Well, he was always the joker. So Christmas time, him and
The criminal
his
violence.
cousin Sherry used to, do crazy things together. Trying to think
What kind of crazy
things?
things we talking?
Well, they were always like the jokesters. But they always, Josh always would wear the Christmas hats on his head, and Sherry always had the Christmas hats. Nothing really like, crazy.
No, it's such a ham. That's me.
Yeah, you were more so like when we were on vacation. Like
Yeah.
that time we went to, where was it? Florida, right? No, Hilton Head.
Mm-hmm.
And you got up and sang, you did the karaoke.
What did he
with the
sing?
band.
I sang the song from Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mother. I will see you when I get home.
What was Josh like in school?
All right, I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
I hope I was of help.
You were. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
I was so down
She
to
is
just start
getting
asking
too...
mom questions.
Yeah, no, there's nothing of interest. You would find the limitations of my mother's ability to tell a story. No, I sang one time I was 10 years old in Hilton Head. They were doing karaoke, like live band karaoke.
Yeah.
Where a band was playing in like, I don't know what they call that, like maybe like open mic or something like that. But I go up and I go, do you know the song from Cable Guy? And they were like, what's that song? And I go, from Cable Guy. Don't you want... They're like, oh, you mean Jefferson Airplane? I didn't know it was like a real song. I thought it was just Jim Carrey singing it. And I did the whole like, I was 10. And that movie, I was obsessed with
crushed,
it. No, I did crush. And, and the adults didn't drop it. It was like 6 years. Everywhere they'd go, Josh and Caroline, like I did something insane. Not like I don't perform an hour of comedy like every other day nowadays. You know
when
what I'm saying?
When you're a
like,
kid and you do something that out of even like an adult's comfort zone, they're like, this guy's crazy.
yeah, it's
He's
so true.
sang karaoke as a 10-year-old in a public place.
Yeah, they brought it
people?
up for years.
Yeah.
And now it's like I perform for a living and they're like, oh yeah, hey.
Well, as your mom said, you're always a jokester.
I know. I guess I will. I mean, I don't know what that meant, and I didn't want to get to the bottom of it. If she means just me like running around and like throwing things at my cousins,
She said
then...
you used to wear a lot of hats.
A lot of hats.
So...
I was like, Jeremiah's eyes lit up though. He's like, I can't get this guy to wear a wig. This guy's wearing hats over here. Maybe it was all my.
What kind of silly hats we talking? I love hats. keep Mama Potter on the line.
I hope that was interesting. That was the first time I've spoken to my mother in many a month, and we've texted.
You get the family exclusives on this episode.
Yeah, I make my awkward family conversations happen for you. I'm sure I'll get a text message about that. What on earth? Who was I talking to? She doesn't have any idea. But yes, the soundboard is being quite an asshole today, as my phone is fucking... I break everything, Jeremiah. I broke my computer that I had as a soundboard, and now my phone...
Break your computer?
It was old. It was old. It wasn't more like I broke it. It just died of old age.
Dude.
And so then I found the soundboard on my phone, and now the top left corner, people at home don't give a fuck, but the top left corner of my phone is acting like I'm touching it all the time.
It's very annoying looking.
Yeah,
just me seeing it, I'm like, oh, that's frustrating.
Look, I can't even type my fucking pad, and it's just like...
I had a computer that was so old, when I went to work back in the day, I put it to sleep before going to work, and I came home and it
like euthanized it, or put it to sleep like...
it died in its sleep. That's how old this computer was. I put it to sleep, like I was like, okay, well, I'll see you when I get home. And then when I came home from work, it literally, I was like, hello? And I was like clicking and I was like moving, and then I tried to turn on, and I took it to the Apple store. They're like, yeah, I'm sorry. We can't do anything for you. It's gone. It's no longer with us.
You've lost it. We can't revive it. I had this phone. I had a real dastardly time in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Dastardly?
And,
you should save that for the nice boys section at the front.
I mean, I did, right? I was doing all kinds. I mean, this is like right after COVID. Okay. I mean, I guess COVID's still happening. Depends who you talk to, I suppose. But like... it was, the first time I could go out and like do something. So it was like June. I did all the clubs in Florida, and then I met up with my family in Daytona Beach. And so, I mean, I was doing drugs. I was swimming in the ocean. I was going to strip clubs out. Like, I literally walked out of the ocean and walked into a strip club, like smelling like the ocean.
Sir, you're still dripping.
Yeah, dude, we were. And like... I swear to God, I was like, why aren't these women coming over and asking me for a lap dance? Oh, it's because I smell like the sea.
Right. Well, if I come in with a wet lap, then they don't know the difference when I get real excited later.
Because I'm making a puddle already of just like salt water at my feet. But I lost my credit card in the ocean, and I got my phone wet. I thought my phone was like waterproof. And so it was acting all screwy with the screen like that. And they were like, well, I flew all the way home without a debit card and without a phone, which was like, I might as well have been in a covered wagon because I felt just lost.
Naked.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have any access to money, and I don't have a phone to like be like, help if I don't know what's going to happen. But so I made it home. I figured out the bus route to go get my phone fixed at Best Buy, like, and wrote it on a paper and was like looking at the signs like I was in fucking 1950. And
doesn't time pass so slow
when you don't have a phone?
Oh, dude.
Or music to listen to?
Yeah. It's like you're so much more alert, and you're like, oh, this is what people used to do all the time.
Yeah. It's crazy. And like also just the idea of like having to remember like where you are, and you don't just look at a little dot.
I try to challenge myself when I go to New York to not look at my phone when I'm on the subway and just literally like be more present. And it's a challenge. Even
in New York, where the subway I would imagine be very entertaining. Mm-hmm. That's a challenge, because here in the subway in LA, I am looking up. But at the same time, this is a wild thing to bring up. I read this article, and it's about a woman who was being raped for like 40 minutes on a subway, a very crowded subway, and no one took notice of it or stopped it.
How does that even happen?
Well, that's what I said at first, but then I thought about it. When I go on the subway, I stand like in the corner, especially if it's crowded. I'll stand in the corner and I'm just like either looking at my phone with my headphones in. Well, yeah, I'm listening to music all the time.
Right.
So I'm not like listening. And when there's like a commotion on the train, I like have this sort of like eyes forward policy because you don't want to like make eye contact with some ne'er-do-well who then chooses to fuck with you. Do you know what I mean? So I almost go like, unless it was happening directly in front of me or it was something that I couldn't avoid, I could have missed something like that on the other end of the car. You know, that's
crazy.
Isn't that terrible? So you start thinking about it like that and you're like, oh my God, like how much shit have I missed, you know? But then every now and then you start to pay attention and look around and you just see a guy like in the side of the car. I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys just jerking their
I've seen
dicks.
that a lot in broad daylight in LA.
In LA, yeah, it's weird. It's like the sun's out, so they're
weird.
like, sun's out, dick's out, let's go.
Yeah, dude.
Sun's out,
Weird
comes
after
out.
they're selling their own merch. It's really weird. It's like, why do you have a table here and business cards? This is way too official.
I remember it was like dining was back in LA when I was in Los Feliz and I was doing the outdoor thing, and a man in a raincoat just ran by and just was like, opened it up and was completely naked and then just took the raincoat off and just walked down the street nonchalant. I'm like, well, I guess COVID's over.
That's like the sign that a pandemic is over. Instead of the groundhog seeing its own shadow, it's just like a naked man who's just like walking without a trench coat again. It's like, all right, I think we're going to be okay again.
Nature is healing, as they say.
Yeah.
It was wild. You know, it's funny, there's all these gimmicks that people like to throw out there when it comes to getting a good night's sleep. It's all lipstick on a pig, if you ask me. The fine folk at Purple have figured out at least what I require to have a wonderful sleep, and that's temperature control. I mean, I require cool air breezing over my body just to get a good night's sleep. I need it. I crave it. And oftentimes your bed can feel like just a hot cesspool, but not anymore with the GelFlex grid that Purple provides. And also their mattresses are wonderful, easy breezy as well. I mean, check out all the products that they've got, my friend, including their pillows. I have the Cloud pillow. Oh my Lord. Just like a cloud. I even bought 2 of them. I was a notorious one pillow guy. I bought a bunch of them. So now I've got clouds all over my bed. And you can too, my friend. Getting a great night's sleep starts with having a great mattress and all the things up at purple.com. So you can go to purple.com/Josh, use code Josh for a limited time. You're going to get 10% off any order of $200 or more. That's purple.com/Josh, using code Josh for 10% off any order of $200 or more. Purple.com/Josh, promo code Josh, terms apply. Today's Josh Potter Show also brought to us by DoorDash. You know, the world is coming back, my friend. I mean, meetings, back in the office. For me, I'm out on the road. I'm doing shows. I'm doing pods. I'm bipping and bopping, jumping around. And it's become a bit overwhelming because we had such a long time off of those things. And it means that there should be less things to think about, right? Grocery shopping, for instance, little errands, maybe dinner. Well, DoorDash has all of those covered, my friend. You can get dinner. You can get household essentials. Everything on your grocery list, all delivered with the push of a button. You ever pull in the driveway after a trip to the grocery store only to realize you forgot that one key ingredient for dinner? Well, now you've got options. Don't ever forget again. Score with the deliveries of DoorDash. Also, they have local restaurants, of course. They've got your favorite chain restaurants. Anything you want, perhaps, can be found on the wonderful app that is known as DoorDash. So right now, for a limited time, my listeners are going to be able to get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app. Just enter the code JOSH at checkout. That's 25% off up to $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code JOSH. Don't forget that's code JOSH for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change. Terms apply. But we have some Black Friday stories that I thought I would bring up. These might be a little dark for you, considering
dude, I roll with it, dude.
You are the Joker after all now.
Yeah, dude.
And some of them involve a bit of
murder.
It would have helped if I had the volume up loud, you see.
Murder.
That says murder. Girls love murder, so that's a woman moaning to the murder, you see. Have you noticed that? Women love the murder? Does your wife like that kind of thing? Is she like, let's watch a true crime movie and then do it?
Every time I call my mom, she's watching a show like The Woman's Reckoning, like random shows. You know what I mean?
The Woman's Reckoning.
I just made that up, but it's like all these different.
That sounds like a nice one. Whereas like some of them, I feel like they're like, the woman's not. She's getting like this. It's like the chopped up woman. They're like, oh yeah, they're like flicking their beans to that kind of thing.
Right.
I don't know. What's that about?
I don't know, but like it's a very constant thing I've noticed.
It's a lot, and so yes, no, I've
my
played
mom
into
has watched so much Snapped and all those different shows like that.
Snapped. What a name for a show.
It's great. It's like Karen Doherty was just a lady who was minding her business with her husband of 30 years. And then all of a sudden, one day, she snapped. And it like tells this backstory. It's like their marriage wasn't going well for the last 15 years. And he didn't remember her anniversary. He came home empty-handed until she cut his dick off. It's like, what is happening?
Those are like, I understand a woman watching though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's like that Jennifer Lopez movie, Enough. Where
Right.
she was like getting beat up and then she's like started taking boxing or whatever and she's like, I'm gonna beat up my fucking ex-husband now
Because she's had enough.
yeah because it's not spousal abuse when it's from a woman. Hope Solo or whatever, remember her?
No.
She's the goalie for the U.S. women's team. Can we pull up a little Hope Solo? Let's look at her husband after she beat the shit out of him. Can we Google that, Kirsten?
Han Solo
Yep, one
came
moment.
home empty-handed.
So Hope Solo is, I don't know, that's crazy that her name is that, but yeah, no, her name was Hope Solo. She was the goalie for the U.S. women's national soccer team. She was
Okay.
a tall, handsome woman. And I thought there was like photos of him with like bruises and shit because he got the shit kicked out of him by her. See if you can find an article about that.
I like her Googling skills. Hope Solo's battered husband.
Well,
That's somebody, your producer's been watching some murder shows.
Type in Hope Solo arrest and just see what that yields for us. Because I just want to see if I'm wrong. Did I get the case wrong? Do you remember what I'm talking about, Kirsten?
I do not.
Go to the articles.
Says
Go to
Hope
the-
arrested in that meme.
Yeah,
So,
go to the well then, case closed.
case closed.
Domestic violence. I'm never going to be able to read it, but I just wanted to.
Allegedly assaulting her half-sister and her nephew in their Kirkland, Washington home
that's what
on
it
June
was.
21st, 2014.
It wasn't her. I thought she would also beat up her husband. I'm sure if you're beating up your niece and your sister, then your husband is getting a few slaps here and there. But yes, no, it was police documents. I thought there was photos of the bruises from her. But yes, she was notoriously insane at the end of the day. But yes, no, I think, though, that's more of a thing that I can understand as women watching women get revenge. That makes sense. But when they're watching the ones where it's like, she was raped by 9,000 men and thrown into a ditch, you're like, why are you watching this? Like, you're really like enjoying it too. This is
Right.
really fucked up.
She said stop, but it was her last stop on the subway.
Some of them go like, because I want to protect myself or it could happen to me or something. That's very wild.
Oh, like why they like the murder shows? Well, definitely there's techniques of I guess if you are kidnapped, they say in those shows, like the police will go down a thing of like, what you're gonna want to do is if you start to get kidnapped is if you're trying to get into your car, use your car, like put your car keys between
Like
the
they're
knuckles
fucking Wolverine.
and start slicing,
Yeah.
and also use your nails to get as much of their hair and skin as possible underneath, so you have DNA on your. It's crazy.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah,
So you have DNA
You go
under you?
you go banshee style. You get skin, you get hair. So like if later, like if they run away or something, you have all of that underneath your
Oh
nails.
my god.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
I was just thinking about the pepper spray they have from their keychains. Have you ever taken that to the face?
No,
I did it
But I'm sure-
voluntarily. Voluntarily.
I'm sure on a Scissor Bros episode it'll happen eventually.
Dude, it's a
I hear
pepper
it's
spray. is-
gnarly.
I've done a taser and a pepper spray. I will take the taser a trillion times over. By the way, these were administered voluntarily. I'll say both of them. I wasn't like I was like,
held against your will.
hey, what's up there, lady? And then, you know what I mean?
I'm here for the Bumble Day. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, the pepper spray was the worst. But I've never had the I've gotten like police grade pepper spray, but not the mace on the keychain. That's why I
Not
wanted
the
to
bear
find
stuff?
out. No, it was. I don't know if they use the bear stuff. Police issued, whatever police issued pepper spray is.
Yeah.
But the ones that the women have on their keychains, I wonder if that's like a mild one.
Maybe.
You spray it on your food.
Yeah.
I have some in here if you're interested.
It's for the
Oh
mild.
my God.
It's for the mild rapists.
You want-
Not,
if
not
I didn't have
for the
another
spicy.
podcast to take, I would be like, let's take it right now. I was like, I need something. I need something to help my my podcasting abilities. Let's pepper spray me. Like that's what I would go to in old radio days. I'd be like, I don't want to fill a segment, so I'll just get tasered.
Right. Which is the best back in the day when you would do that stuff for the radio because it's like
no one watched it.
It's just audio.
Dude, I had to not swear when I got tased because if I did, it would have been gone forever.
Right.
They would have dumped out of it.
Yeah.
And I remember we were videoing it, but someone fucked up the video and they were like, oh, well. And I'm like, oh, well. That would have gone like 1,000 times viral, like
Yeah.
especially in the early days of YouTube.
Yeah. I
But
did this
here
thing
we are.
where I was competing in morning radio for the world's most cigarettes in a mouth, just trying to put as many cigarettes as possible.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I don't smoke at all. And
How did you not throw up?
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
Just having cigarettes, like I didn't taste it or anything.
No,
It was
sure.
The smell.
Yeah.
The smell of the tobacco was so strong that I started and I threw up in the trash can after I got like 80 in there or something like
Oh
that.
my God. That's
Yeah.
a good one, though. So you were competing or you were like,
They're like Stedman's going for the world record today.
oh, so you were going against him?
No, that was my radio name was Stedman.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that kind of, you were a stunt boy too.
Oh yeah, I did man on the street stuff and screen calls and stuff
Same
like that.
here, yeah.
And 96.5, The Buzz.
No shit. Is that you? No, I'm just kidding.
No, but if you Google though, it's like on you. It has copyrighted
What
music.
was the show?
But it was Dick Dale in the mornings.
Oh, wow. Dick
Yeah.
Dale in the mornings.
Dick Dale.
That's awesome. I had no idea that. I can't believe we've never talked about this before.
Yeah.
I've talked about on Honeydew doing like nude with a dude and stuff like that. I talked about the taser. We showed the video of me trick-or-treating at sex offenders' houses. That was something that I did.
That's funny.
They weren't allowed to answer the door, so we just went and tested it out. But I'm trying to think.
I'm a man. Open the door.
What? I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
What was the moment you thought, I can't do this anymore?
Morning radio?
Yeah, or at least that aspect of it, the stunts and such.
Oh, well, what's the stunts and stuff, it's weird because I'm still in some ways doing that kind of stuff for my
No, but
podcast
now
as
you're
a bros.
doing it of your own volition or whatever.
Right.
But this isn't like Dick Dale's not like, we got to have Jeremiah sleep in a Beamer for three
So
days or whatever.
basically, everybody at the station that was like his producer and him, they all got fired at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And I was like one of the hanger-ons that they were trying to find something for me, and I ended up editing videos for them, and I drove the prize van around and did some remote stuff.
Nice.
But the new lady that came in said, because you worked for him, you'll never work for me. And that's when
Wow.
it gave me the extra push to leave for LA because I was like, oh, my career's over here.
That's how it works too. Like
She stayed there
the
for 10
second,
years too.
The second, I was
Yeah.
just having that conversation with a guy that got fired from the station I worked at. I was like, he goes, man, it's so great. You took a risk and went out to LA. I go, it actually would have been more of a risk if I stayed.
Yeah.
Because with COVID, I would have never still had a job or anything like that. But I remember I transitioned from being a stunt boy to what I wanted to be more of a broadcaster.
Right.
At some point, because I was sick of the stunts. The one stunt that pushed me over the edge was Stain Josh for stained tickets.
Oh, no.
So people had to bring like paints and dyes and and they had to stain my skin basically. Like it was just supposed to be like a gag, but people were bringing ridiculous things. One man brought, and this is the thing that put me over the edge. He brought the Jack Daniel's sauce from like TGI Fridays, the bucket of it, and put it all. And I have hairy arms, obviously. To tell you the shower that I had to take after, where it's like I had basically my entire arm was just like paste with all the things on it, in my hair and everything like that, all over my body. I remember I took 9-hour shower, something crazy. And I walked out of there and I go, I'm kind of done with all that stuff.
We just did a barbecue chug challenge in Austin for Scissor Bros Live, and it was over our heads, and I ended up chugging like over a quart of it, and it was the shower that I had to take afterwards, and the puke that came from that was so violent because it was
probably
so
thick.
It was a very vinegar based. So like it was actually I was drinking like a lot of liquid.
Yeah.
But the stunt, one of the ones that was real weird that I did for the morning radio station was for a charity. It was like some dog charity that we gave the money for. Was they auctioned off my forehead as advertising space.
Oh my God.
And they cut my hair into a mullet live on the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that was like your moment where you're like, what am I doing?
Well, that was like just one of the last ones before he got fired. I was
What
still
did he get
like
fired for, by the way? Racial stuff?
ratings.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, I wish they did that more often to some of these shows, but they don't.
Yeah.
They have to wait until they're 10 years down the road, and then they say something racial, and then they're like, okay, now we can fire you.
Right.
Thank God. I remember there was I liked making listeners do stunts.
Okay.
So like I would come up with shit for them to do. This is before, like when that We for We thing happened in the Pacific Northwest, that was the end of that. You couldn't do those anymore. But before that, we had people do a thing called, and Jimmy Fallon ended up, this is how like, Jimmy Fallon didn't steal this from us, but this is how like just shit gets retread all the time.
Yeah.
We did a Lick It for Tickets contest.
I think I remember like
That was probably like
hearing,
a consultant probably stole it and like would take it around to probably
different markets.
Yeah, because there was a
like
couple
that.
of our contests that the consultant named Ralph.
Hey,
would
if it had a
steal.
catchy name, they were gonna do it as
Yes.
a gimmick on the radio.
And one Lick It for Tickets went a little too far. We took this crazy hot sauce and put it on a paper plate, and we're like, you have to lick the whole. Now these people had licked urinal cakes. They had licked like vile things. We had them lick like a shoe of our janitor, like stuff like just degrading shit. And then the finale was the hot sauce. You'd think that would be the least of their worries. Unfortunately, all of them had to go to the hospital. It was because it was like I believe the Scoville
And
units
you just
were,
won tickets to Hoobastank.
Yeah, exactly. It was for like it was for Metallica, I think. It was like,
Oh, I could see their fans going all out for
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, there were so many contests where we had a guy snort fruit flies because it was for like Motley Crue. We were like, you have to be like Motley Crue. And we found like fruit flies that we could snort. I don't know. It was like so much research into like what bug could you snort that like, because there was the old fable that Ozzy did a line of ants off a popsicle stick.
Yes.
So we were like, let's make people do ants. And then we're like, how are we going to get ants? And we figured like, what's the smallest bug? So we thought fruit fly was so much weird shit like that back then.
Dude.
That was part of your job. And you were making, I mean, I was making no money. I assume same. I don't know.
Oh, I was making minimum wage.
Yeah.
But the people who I was like the youngest person at the station, so I was so stoked.
Exactly.
And all
That's
the
the same
interns
here.
were so mad at me because they were college graduates who were just trying to get the job that I got.
Exactly. That's why I quit college. I had interns that I was signing paperwork for that were like in my department.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Well, let's wrap up with some Black Friday stories, though, as we were about to get into it, because that's so wild, though. I can't believe I've never talked to you about your radio past. But yes, we have some Black Friday stories that involve a bit of murder.
Murder.
2 men stabbed outside Macy's. This happened in November of 2018. Black Friday shopping turned violent in Syracuse, New York. See, this is back where the you ever go to that club, Syracuse Funny Bone?
That was one of the last clubs I did before the big pandemic.
Well, this was a stabbing at that Destiny USA Mall.
I ate at the Dinosaur Barbecue.
Yes, is that in the mall?
No, it was offsite. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being from Western New York, Dinosaur Barbecue is not like special for me. There's, you know what I mean? So it's like when I go to the mall,
It was cool.
sleep
It was
in
like
the-
one of the destinations there. So, and I heard it was
Of
good. So I was
course.
like, yeah, I'll check it out.
No, it's good. I'm just saying, like, being from there, you're like, when I go to the Syracuse Funny Bone, I'm like, I'll sleep a little longer. I don't need to go to the.
Right.
But this happened in the mall that comedy club is in. 2 people sent to the hospital. It happened in the middle of the Friday shopping rush. Police were called to the Macy's department store. Investigators say the victims, both men in their 20s, were involved in a fight in the store. One was stabbed in the abdomen, the other in the back. They are expected to survive. I think they did. We'll say they did. This is a 3-year-old story, but what happened? Let's see. It says the isolated incident that took place inside of Macy's is absolutely unacceptable and will not be tolerated. It only strengthens our resolve to remain vigilant and committed to providing a safe. This is the statement from the mall, obviously. My son texted me and said, "Are you all right?" I said, "We're fine." Why? He said, "There's just been a stabbing at Macy's. We had walked into PacSun and we decided to stay there." That's the safe place, PacSun? Imagine going into PacSun being like with other like punk guys being like, can we chill in here, man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would have gone to like a Spencer's Gifts or something like that.
And Macy's is the one where the stabbing's happening.
Yeah,
That's
you want to go as
wild.
far away from that kind of clientele as possible.
That is like a fantasy as a kid to get, like, granted, it wasn't because there was like a mass shooting or a stabbing happening, but you'd want to get trapped in a toy store.
Right?
You know, so then you're like, I'm stuck in here and I can play with all the toys.
And then you realize there's no food in here, and then you slowly start to starve to death. Like you start eating the gumballs like at the front, but then like by day 5, like your body's like can't process the gum anymore.
I feel like also toy stores have those candies where they're just like, this is just sugar. Like it's like you don't even know what it's like, liquid sugar, and you like can squirt it in your mouth or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like whatever that is.
Yeah, it's like
things I was never allowed to buy.
It's sugar mouthwash. It's like, what? Why are you rubbing it all over your teeth? That doesn't look healthy at all.
You know what's annoying about this story? It doesn't say why they stabbed each other. You know, like what at Macy's
is the cause?
What at Macy's is
stabbable,
stab-overable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of even like I guess it's a department store. They do have an electronics department, but what if it's like they're going after like something in the woman's fashion?
What if it was a pair of Uggs?
Yeah.
Just one woman has her leg in the left shoe, and the other
that's
woman
the
is
thing.
trying
These
on
are
the right.
two men, so it's like, what on earth were they? There's nothing there for them to go after.
You know, maybe one of them started talking smack on the other one's wife or something like that.
Huh. That is something. Defending the honor of their wife.
Defending the honor?
Meanwhile, the wives are pulling and going after a dress or something like that, or a pantsuit, and then you get your wife off my wife, and then he's like, no, you get your wife off. Who knows? I wish it went more into that. It just had a statement. It said there was a stabbing. This next one has video, though. This is fun. This happened back in 2011, back in the day. An off-duty police officer pepper sprays an entire Black Friday crowd. Let me read the article, and then we'll get to the video here as you cue it up. An off-duty police officer, by the way, so he's not even working. An off-duty police officer used pepper spray Friday on shoppers at a Walmart. This is in Kingston, North Carolina.
It's got to feel good to do that on your day off, though, right?
I mean,
pepper spray someone on your day off.
I want to find out if he did it out of like, was he abusing his power, or was he like thinking, well, I'm a cop, so I got to control this crowd? Like, was he trying to, you know, be like Riggs in Lethal Weapon, where it's like, I'm off the clock, but I'm never off the clock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or
it's a lifestyle.
Was he just like, I hope no one finds out I'm a cop, and I'm going to pepper spray the shit out of these people?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's find out. Angel Bunting, who was shopping at the store, said a man fell into a display as people lined up for discounted cell phones. So this is like you going after your sidekick or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
She said she believed it was an accident, but security thought there was a fight. About 20 people, including children, were affected by the pepper spray, she alleged, but that couldn't be confirmed. So I guess how this man, I'm sorry, I skipped a paragraph here. Kinston Police Sergeant Roland Davis said an off-duty officer the store had hired to help with security. So this man was hired by the store to do some Black Friday security, used a chemical while trying to make an arrest during a disturbance. So these people were hustling and bustling and getting a little bit of a tussle around the discounted cell phones, and he sprayed pepper spray, and 20 people, including children, were affected by the pepper spray. And here is a video posted online. Let's see what we can play from this without getting YouTube up our assholes. So this guy's making an arrest, and he's just like... Like, how did he spray all these people?
Dude.
I guess that shit just goes everywhere, eh, Kirsten? You have it on your purse.
Yeah, it really does. And I mean, even if you're not getting hit directly by the spray, like the fumes of it will still get you teary.
And this was to handcuff one man. Police arrested a 58-year-old man who they said failed to follow their instructions. Oh, good reason to mace 20 people. That sounds good. He was raining it over the whole crowd, so it'll rain down on their heads. So he's just like, we got to arrest this one guy. And just letting it trickle down like you're in the bathroom doing one of those fucking aerosols. What are those called where you spray it in the air? Some of it got on my granddaughter and got in her face and eyes. She had to go to the emergency room because she's asthmatic. So this guy, poor security hire out there in North Carolina.
That's really saying screw it to everything when you're just like, that is a last resort. Just like, that's pulling the pin on the grenade and just being like, like what happens. I'm going after that guy right here.
Well, it also goes like, aren't you a cop? So, like, shouldn't you have a little more composure?
Yeah, but he said he was hired to help with security?
Yeah, he's doing, so it's kind of like, for him, it's supposed to be like a cushy day off thing, but like I said, his normal job is, he is a police officer.
I think that he knew, like, that he wouldn't, like, there wouldn't be as many consequences, like, in the security guard realm.
I feel like it would be drawing too much attention to me moonlighting.
Maybe.
Discharging my weapon, not like a gun. Imagine if he just took out his gun. He's doing
I'm looking
like
for him right there.
He fires warning shots in the air like it's a rioting crowd. That's the way he was acting. Was like it was a riotous crowd.
Right. Meanwhile,
and he needed
like,
to.
little girls like, my eyes. What's
Yeah,
happening?
there's children. He's like, "You animals, stay back!" He's acting like it's a fucking looting situation. It's fucking Black Friday.
for Christmas.
It really shows this man needs some training a little bit deeper. Because could you imagine if he was confronted with something? And that's the kind of guy that does shoot into a crowd.
Yeah.
And murder people at the end of the day. Another one, a Walmart worker trampled to death. Now, these ones are very sad, but also like, especially when it's a worker, you're like, oh my God, this poor person was like, I don't want to do this.
They died on a shift at Walmart?
Yeah, and they were like,
on.
probably going like, God, I don't want to work on Black Friday. But there's also the possibility that they are a very gung-ho person. You ever see those people who really enjoy menial jobs?
Yeah.
Like to the point where you're like, all right, pump the brakes there, cowboy. Like
I salute it,
I salute it to a degree.
It's crazy.
But let's find out. I think, like, what if this person was like, stand back? It's like you're protecting what? Walmart's televisions? How about
Yeah.
you chill out? You put yourself in danger. But I'm not trying
The
to
new
put
box set of Friends on DVD.
yeah, exactly. This is 2008, so very well could have been
There you go.
something of that effect. But I'm not trying to put any sort of onus on the person who got trampled quite yet. I'll find out the situation.
Fraser DVDs leaves this store.
There will be order when you are going after your Frasier DVDs.
Law and Order. Only $19.95 on sale for Black Friday at Walmart.
Because, like, at some point, you just got to be like, let them have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A Walmart worker died early Friday after an out-of-control mob of frenzied shoppers smashed through the Long Island store's door fronts and trampled him, police said. The Black Friday stampede plunged the Valley Stream outlet into chaos, knocking several employees to the ground and sending others scurrying atop vending machines to avoid the horde. Good God, what was in there? When the madness ended, 34-year-old, you want to give that name a shot? A lot of consonants. This one here with all the consonants.
I think it's
I have no idea how to. Kirsten, did you see this name?
Jimmy Ty. I think, right?
Is it?
Jim Ty.
Okay.
Ty.
Okay. All right. We're going to go with that.
Jim Ty.
He was dead, evidently.
Yeah. Oh.
And 4 shoppers, including a woman.
I'm so sorry, Jim Ty.
That's why I would like to get your name right. It's Jdimytai.
I think it's Jim Ty.
All right. We're going to go. I mean, hey,
I'm like not sure my pronunciation is correct at all, but I feel like with a little bit of inflection,
you did a
it
good
saves
job.
it.
Yeah. No. You're with a little bit of inflection. You either become woke or racist. And so it's a.
This guy really knows his regions.
Yeah. They're like, whoa, that was a wonderful accent.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
You really nailed it. The pronunciation.
Wrong ethnicity, Jeremiah. Ooh, sorry. That was a guess. I'm trying to read over here. Cold read.
This man, though, was bum rushed by 200. Could you imagine just like, and we just saw the Astro World
Imagine
thing,
a
like
football
getting
team.
trampled. Yeah, just
And
running
then
over.
10 of those.
Oh, and like, how could you as a person not know you're about to run over a body when you're like moving forward. You're like just stepping on a body. I am blind, and if I even like step on a foot or something, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like you know what I mean? Like stepping on a chest or something or a face. God, how does that happen? People become animals at such a
They do.
a flip of a switch just for a stereo or something.
Yep.
They took the doors off the hinges. He was trampled and killed in front of me. They took me down too. I didn't know if I was going to live through it. I literally had to fight people off my back. That's the other thing. It's like I would just be like, I don't know. I mean, the overwhelming deluge of just people on top of you is insane to me.
I mean, you would freak out, definitely, but if 4 people are stepping on you at the same time, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. I mean,
even if you're flailing, you're not going anywhere.
But if you're a part of those 4 people standing on a body, wouldn't you go like, oh man, oh shit. How do you not know you're not on a body?
It's like salmon keep going upstream. You know what I mean?
It's so
like it's
weird.
a constant thing where as soon as like one of those 4 people,
and not one of them was like, oh, there's a guy under me and like tries to pick him up. I just don't understand the mentality of like a stampede like that.
Oh, I have this memory of going to this Christian rock concert back in the day.
Switchfoot?
No, but it was bands like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
so they wanted everybody to like mosh and stuff. But it was so funny because like anytime somebody fell down, the band would be like, "Help him out!"
That's a lot of
help him out.
I will say that it was a lot of the post hardcore scene was doing that. Like, you know, if you knock a guy down, make sure you pick him the fuck back up. It would be like that.
Who's ready to rage tonight?
Yeah, and they'll be like, keep rolling. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'd be Limp Bizkit concert. They would say that at every, like, I feel like that was a common thread. You know, they didn't want anyone to get stampeded and things like that.
Who's ready to lose blood out of every orifice of their body? But make sure you pick up your neighbor to the left and right of you.
I went to a Mushroom Head concert one time, and it was kind of sparsely attended, and there was a man who had a shirt that said "kick me in my fucking head," and he would just lay on the ground and people would like punt him in the head and he would just get up and be normal. It's like, how many concussions? Like, how did he not die? Like, people would take their shoes off and do it, but still, it was fucking crazy. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. And then there was like another
That was
thing.
the craziest Cranberries concert I ever saw.
Mushroom Head. Do you know Mushroom Head? They have
No.
a lot of costumes. They're very Slipknotty in terms of their like costumes. They wear like, and there's a million of them in the band and things like that. Let's go through this. I wanted to get to this one, the grand finale of Black Friday folklore. One shot after staring at an attractive woman during Black Friday shopping. Now, this is how you get in trouble, folks. If you're out there ogling a woman, it can get you into trouble in any sort of day. But this special holiday where there's a lot of crowds and people's tensions are high, this is a time when, in fact, you can definitely get shot for doing something like that more often than you can in the street, I would imagine. One person was shot at a Tennessee mall Thursday night as hundreds of shoppers crowded the complex to begin their Black Friday shopping. Police said the fighting stemmed from a glance at a woman.
Wow.
The victim told police he spotted an attractive woman at the mall, but that he continued walking. So I guess he definitely took notice if he's bringing it up to the police. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All I did was one of these.
All I did was this. Damn! She thick! And then I kept walking down the mall, and then all of a sudden I hear gunshots, and I'm like, what is happening?
All I did was act like a cartoon coyote.
Right.
My eyes popped out of my head and my tongue rolled out like a carpet.
You know, just your average Black Friday shopping.
According to the police report, the victim was knocked out and then he was shot while he was being pulled to his feet. I don't know. After you knock the guy out, I think you win. But then this guy decided to take it one step
What
further.
a gentleman, picking him up off the ground so he could shoot him.
No, someone else was picking him up and then he
gotcha.
shot him. He was like, oh, you're picking him up? I'm going to shoot him now.
Wow.
Should have shot him first and then knocked him out. The victim told police he didn't remember getting knocked to the ground and he didn't hear the gunshots. Matthew Morgan, who watched the fight unfold, said he saw one of the suspects pull out a gun and shoot at the victims during the confrontation. He said he then just started shooting. It's not clear whether he returned fire at the suspects or just shot in the air. This is a policeman, I suppose. Witnesses gave police conflicting reports, so they're all saying different things like, this guy shot at this guy. They were saying, this guy shot at this guy, but really it was one dude. The injured man was grazed by a bullet and is expected to be okay. They arrested Morgan on the charge of unlawful possession of a weapon. Isn't that always the case? Like when they try to murder a man, they're like, well, you shouldn't have had that gun. That's what we're going to get you on.
Unlawful possession.
But I was saying this the other day. If I get caught looking at a woman, can you let it go, please, out there in the world? I don't have much time left in terms of sight. I'm trying to download.
So I have a life
can.
hack that I haven't used yet, but I assume this would work.
Okay.
If you get caught looking at a woman and a guy gets pissed at you, like, you looking at my girl? If you just say, quickly, like, I was looking at you.
Ooh.
That will disarm them, I think.
Although it might turn things for the worse in some scenarios too.
Well, it depends on what part of the country you're in.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, boy.
I also think. Oh my God. We have a missing endangered elderly at this moment.
Got a silver alert. Bow, 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 bow.
Holy shit.
Dude, do they make it extra loud for like the old people who are looking out for their friends? That's
Breaking
crazy.
news, silver alert, endangered elderly man in the Santa Monica area.
Josh Potter is at large. He's taken down another elderly woman in the area. She cannot be found.
Whew.
That was a loud one.
I almost died before becoming elderly on that one. But lordy, I do think a life hack for me, I can hear everyone else's cell phones
Yeah,
doing
it's
it
going
too.
crazy.
It's like,
Mine didn't go off.
It will. I have a life hack for looking at women, though. I must say. My life hack was given to me by God. I just go, what? What woman? They're like, oh, okay. They don't know where I'm looking. These fucking Picasso eyes could be looking all over the place, Googling around. They have no idea. I stare right at the cleavage, and they're like, he doesn't know where he's looking. He could be looking at my eyes for all I know. I'm just staring right at the cleavage.
You're just looking right there. It's like, hey,
sometimes
I'm even my girl.
I'm looking over here, and I'm looking over here. You know what I mean? They don't know.
Yeah, you're doing one of these.
But at the end of the day, I would hope that if a woman caught me man-gazing, she would just be like, it's okay.
Right.
You can have this one.
You can have this one.
It's like charity.
These are for you.
I have said this story on I think a podcast before. I have in the past used my blindness to see breasts on women. I go like, I hope before I go blind that I get to see tits as nice as yours someday. And then they'd be like, will you just see mine? This is college, It was easy.
When was the last time you did that trick?
In college, I will say. I wish I was a scumbag enough to have tried it like at Skankfest.
Some bits need to be dusted off.
Yeah,
man.
right. I bet at Skankfest I could have even not had tried that hard if I wanted to. For certain women, they were like ready to show them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you signed a breast? Not easy.
I have.
It's hard to be respectful.
And then I told my wife about
Lord.
it, and then I was like, she's like, yeah, that might not be the best idea.
Yeah, can you not do that?
One time it happened at the Comedy Store where there was a girl who was trying to get me to sign her boobs, and my mother-in-law happened to be there that night, and she was on the patio, and she kept going, sign them. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. I literally was like, I got nice meeting you. I gotta my mother-in-law was literally like 10 feet away. It was so
wild.
weird.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no qualms with it in terms of that. Like, I have no worry in that situation, but it's just weird. Like, in today's climate, you're just like, and you're just like, I don't want to go in there and be like, you know what I mean? Like where I'm like grab on and really so I'm doing it real delicately, like trying not to act like I'm having too much fun doing it. You know?
Like you have a 10-foot pole attached to the Sharpie. yeah. And you're just like slowly.
Social distance. I have a mask on.
Yeah. The pen has a mask on too for some reason.
Well, Jeremiah, tell everyone once again where they can find you and all the things you want them to look at.
I'm very active on social media. At Jeremiah Stand Up, follow me, and I've got my special is dropping on YouTube next week for free at youtube.com/Jeremiah Watkins. It's my 1 hour special. It's a lot of fun. It's called Family Reunion, and there's interviews with my family in it, tying into the theme of this family episode.
I'm excited to see that special hit the airwaves on YouTube because it was on Prime before, yeah? People can watch it on Prime until then?
Yep.
If they have that? Mm-hmm. See, I don't have all the things.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people, like, even though Prime is a popular platform, I think that it'll get some new life breathed into it. So I'm excited to be able to see it.
Yep. The soundboard's not working. We'll just insert the music at the end. But I wanted to let you know, folks, there it is. I am going to be the following locations come 2022. These are all confirmed dates, even though the one that I had confirmed last week has gone by the wayside, evidently, according to the American Comedy Company website. Hopefully we'll get a new date on that. But January 23rd, 2022, I will be at the Milwaukee Improv, coming back with Annie Letterman and headlining that Sunday. So I hope you come out to the Sunday show specifically, but if you have to come to the other ones, I'll see you then too. And also, if you can make it out to West Nyack, New York, I will be there on the 30th of January at Levity Live, and I will be in the Pittsburgh Improv later in that week, the 2nd of February, and I will be at the Raleigh Improv the 3rd of February. All the tickets can be found once they are on sale up on my Instagram in the bio section. Josh_Potter is my Instagram. At J_Potter is the Twitter. Please continue to subscribe, rate, review, all of that kind of thing. Hit the little notification bell. And also, please to be emailing your music and your articles and everything. Feedback otherwise over to joshpottershow@gmail.com. We will see you next Tuesday. Thank you once again, Jeremiah.
Thanks so much for having me, brother.